Hi, my name is Maria Veater. I am the shelter director for Canyon Creek Services here in Cedar City, Utah. Just a little bit about my backstory. Back in the 90s, I remember doing a tour of this shelter, and I didn't know much about it, but I remember distinctly coming into this building when I was just a young woman, and I remember saying to myself, I'm going to work here someday, and I am going to have that office, which is the office I'm sitting in now. And I knew at that minute that I was just meant to do this work. I just didn't know when it was going to take place or how it was going to go down and that sort of thing. So for me, years later, I volunteered, and I remember it was a Christmas time, and I walked in, and it was so electric. The feeling that I had with everyone, just helping and bringing in, toys for the kids and that sort of thing. And we were bagging them up and getting them ready. And I had so much fun, and everybody was so wonderful. And then, to see the little kids and the parents come in and then to shop, because they didn't have any money for Christmas gifts. And I got bit again. And I remember sitting down, and they said, I want to work here. I need to work here. I have to work here, and I will wait until you give me a job. So I sat down, and they just looked at me like I was nuts. And I'm like, no, I have to work here. And anyway, so I started off as a volunteer. 2 weeks later, hired as a shelter staff. Wasn't long until I was the main shelter staff. A couple years later, I became the shelter manager, and now I'm the shelter director. So I've been going almost on 6 years. And I'll tell you, and as many of you know, how hard this work is. We see so many different people, and they all have different stories. And we sit with them as they talk and share their crisis that they've been through. And I'll just never forget my first client that I had doing an intake. We just sat, and she cried for a solid hour, and just bore her soul, and I just listened to her, and I felt what she was going through, and it just made me want to do this work even more, and made me want to fight even harder. Makes me want to go up to the legislation sessions and just really fight even harder for our clients that we serve, and not just the clients that we serve, for the people that do this work, because it's hard. And I don't think a lot of people realize what we go through, because we don't get to tell our story. And there's a lot of time you feel very lonely, and there's a lot of time you feel so honored to do this work. And I am honored to do this work, and there are days where you want to throw in the towel, right? It's like, this is too much. But then you have experiences like we have here at our shelter, where we have the opportunity to listen to someone bare their soul, where they feel safe with us to do that, because being vulnerable is hard for those who have been told to, you don't matter, no one's going to believe you. All those things that they are told, and they come to believe. But when they're able to come into a safe place, and they know that they're cared for, and they know that we believe them, and we listen to them, it's a game changer. I've seen people come in just melt down, and then after they're done, talking, and we listen to them, we validate their feelings, we normalize the situation. You just see a whole different new person. And when I see that and I get that opportunity, I'm like, I am so honored. When they leave my office, I sit and I just say, oh my gosh, that was such an honor to have that experience and to be able to be there for her. And we had the other day, we had a client come in who had been here for almost 6 months, never said a word. She was quiet as could be. It was her time to go. She got an apartment, and she was scared to go. She didn't want to leave. So the housing advocate, along with my manager, Marin, and myself, sat here with this client. She sat here in this very chair, and I had to tell her, Tuesday's your day. And she didn't want to go, and she broke down, and the first thing she said to me is, will you help me with toilet paper? Because I don't have money to buy toilet paper. And we just, absolutely, of course I'm going to help you with toilet paper, whatever else you need. And I was just like, we were all on it. We're like, what else do you need? The resources, she'd never really opened up. And she opened up to us, and she told us her story. She had a degree. She has a degree. And COVID hit. And it just put her, in a really bad place. But the thing is, we got to know so much about her, and it was so spiritual, if that's the word, the correct word. It was a beautiful moment that we got to bond and help her with what she needed. And we found out so much about her, and it was such an honor. And that's why I do what I do. And I have a fantastic staff, and I would not have anybody in here that would, well, better, it's probably best to say the people that I have in here are people who really care. And it makes a difference that they know that there's somebody here 24/7 to listen to them. I have a sign up that says, the best thing that you can give someone is a listening ear and silence. Let them talk. And give them what they need. Give them that empathy, that love that they need, and that they so desire. I also have male staff that work for me that I love. And they really show the women and the children that there's good guys in the world. Not all guys are bad. And it's a beautiful thing to see them out playing football and in the backyard in our field and that sort of thing. And we just have a great facility. The morale's great. We like to tease each other. You have to do that in this work, right? So I just really appreciate that I have this opportunity. It's such an honor for me to do this, and I will continue doing this as long as I possibly can because I care. And a lot of times I'm hard on my clients because I care. So a lot of times I have to get in there and say, you know what? I think we can try a little bit harder. We're gonna work together a little bit harder, and I'm gonna talk with you every day and see where you're at, get you where you need to be. But it's my goal that they leave here in a better place. That's my goal, and that's what I want truly for every one of them. And I have so much empathy, so much admiration, and it is a true honor to do what I get to do every day. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for it.